Over the last 3 years, I have worked with over 2,000 students, helping them get on camera, on live video to sell their offers with ease and confidence. And one of the absolute biggest struggles that I'm always helping my students with is the script writing process, because I hear that it takes them hours and hours of time and they're just staring at white space, unsure what to say, or feeling like they're saying too much. And my goal is to make the process as easy as possible. In fact, my hot take is that if it is taking you longer than 20 minutes to write out your script every single week, something in that process is going wrong. And I want to make sure that you can bust out these scripts at a really high quality level while still being efficient and having the kind of impact that you want on your audience. So, whether you're someone who feels like you are just taking forever to write because you're overstuffing and potentially overwhelming your audience with content, or you're someone who starts writing and you're just like, I have no idea what to say, or maybe you feel like you don't have enough to say, or maybe you just haven't started the process at all because you really have no gauge for like where you should start. It does not matter where you are at, because the purpose of today is to debunk the entire process for you and to share a little secret as well. And that secret is that there is a science to this and there is a process to this. And if you go in understanding the formula, the framework, the science to this, you do not try to reinvent the wheel every single time you sit down to write, which is a good thing. And it means that you can work very, very fast when you have that framework. So, first off, I'm recording this live. If you are here watching with me live, you can drop me a hashtag live, or you can drop me a hashtag replay. I'm streaming on a couple of different platforms. So wherever you're watching from, it's good to have you here. If you don't know who I am, my name is Alex. I'm the founder of Unscripted Moment, and I've been helping entrepreneurs just like you get on live video with ease and confidence to sell their offers. So today we are going to be doing a few things. So number one, we are going to be going through my entire highly converting script. We're going to briefly just go through that. I'm going to share with you the 3 questions that you have to be asking yourself before you are ever actually getting to writing the script. And then I'm going to do this real-time demo from the perspective of a life coach real fast. And just so you know, I have got a client call in 26 minutes from now. So I have to be done with this script and everything by then. I gave myself that time limit because I was like, I really want to show you guys. We could take a long time. I want to show you guys how to do this efficiently. So again, we're going through those 3 questions. We're going through the script, and we're going to do a real time demo. So again, if you're here live, let me know you're here. If you're watching the replay, let me know. I see we got Marina here, Denise here. Okay, so my question for you guys before we jump in is, how long is scripting taking you right now? 20 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 3 days, 10 years? Let me know where you're at in the comments. I'm curious to see kind of how that's going for you. And we're going to jump in and get started. So first off, I'm going to real quick share my screen with you all, because we're going to go through and I'll make this bigger. We're going to go through the scripting and the 3 questions that I mentioned. So every single week, the reason my students can bust out these scripts so fast is because we use this template right here. It is the same framework every single week. We are not reinventing the wheel. We're taking this framework and we're bulleting within this framework every single week. But here's the secret to this. Before you ever get into this script, you got to have answers to these 3 questions. So if you do not have answers to these 3 questions, it's going to be really hard to write your script, because you're not going to have clarity on exactly what it is you are trying to say in the script. So first question, what is the through line or takeaway? So in one clear, simple sentence, you need to be able to tell me exactly what you are teaching, exactly what your audience is going to learn if they stay until the end of the video, right? So this could be, they're going to learn the 3 best exercises to do to strength train from the comfort of their own home, or it's the 3 best ways to save money in 2024, or it's the 10 hottest tips for building confidence on camera. Ideally, you have some sort of specific tangible outcome. So like a tangible number, 3, 4, 5, something clear, or it's the number one problem or the top things you see, something tangible the audience can hold on to so they know, okay, I'm listening in for X many things, or I'm hanging around for this specific content. If this is taking you a long time to say, like if this is like a paragraph for you, you did it wrong. Like you are not clear on this. It should be one sentence. Okay, where's the evidence? So this is where you're going to share like, okay, where did you actually learn this stuff that you're teaching? Is it from working with a client? Is it from something personal that happened to you? People are skeptical about where your information comes from, right? They've been burned in the past, or maybe they just want to make sure, that they're getting information from a reliable source. So you're going to share where you're getting this content from. And then lastly, what's the CTA? What's the call to action? So are they going to a sign up page? Are they going to book a call? Or are they going to purchase something? Are they going to a specific site? Be really, really clear. So if you are clear on where you're leading them with the call to action, what the evidence is, and what the through line takeaway is, it's going to be much, much easier to then go and write the script, where most people go in having zero clarity. They actually don't really know what they're trying to write about. They just have either a lot of ideas or no ideas, and it ends up being super confusing. So give me a yes in the comments if this is making sense to you so far, or if you have any questions on this. But this is the first 3 questions you have to be able to answer. And I see Maria saying, yes, this is a game changer. She's one of my private clients, and we literally have been doing this for every single script, and it's made such an impact. Okay. All right. Next up, we're briefly going to go through this script right here. So first off, we've got the hook, right? This is where you are grabbing your audience's attention. This is the first like minute or 2 of the video where you're painting a picture, setting the tone for, what's to come in the video. After that, you are sharing exactly what they are going to learn if they stick around. And that is the answer to question number 1. So if it was the 3 best exercises to do from home, that's exactly what you're saying right here. And this is directly linked to the retention in your videos. If people are not sticking around to the end, I would look at your crazy not to say promise, right? Like how are you incentivizing them to stay? Like, is the content of the video really juicy and delicious? Is it enough that people want to stick around, right? After that, we've got the authority builder. So this is 1 to 2 lines of basically your I help statement. So this could be something like, I help coaches and course creators to sell using live video to make their lives easier, or to magnify their business, right? Your 1 to 2 I help statement. After that, we've got the call to action. Again, you answered these 3 questions. You know what you're trying to sell or push or promote during this video. So you're sharing this call to action at the beginning, very briefly alluding to the call to action. And then you are very briefly alluding to it at the end as well. Not briefly. At the beginning, it's brief, just mentioning it. At the end of this script, you are going more in depth, sharing even more about the call to action, more detail. Okay, after that, we've got your engaging question. This is where you can prompt people to give a hashtag live, hashtag replay, or ask a stupid, simple question, right? Make engagement easy. So this is where you can have people comment yes or no to something. Do you guys feel this is true? Yes or no? It could be a true or false question that you ask people. It could be getting them to share a number. So at the beginning of this, I asked you guys, how long is it taking you to write out your script? And you just got to tell me a number, right? So don't ask super deep, long, convoluted questions. Simple, where they have to give a word or a number or a yes or a no. And then once you get that engagement coming, more and more is going to come. Cool? Let me know if you're with me so far. You can give me a thumbs up, a yes, whatever you want in the comments if you're here live or watching the replay. And we're going to keep going. Like I said, I'm going to do an example of this. So no worries if it's not all coming together yet. Okay, after this, we've got the content anchor. So I have 3 here. The content anchors, this is like the meat and potatoes of the video. Like if you promised to teach the top 10 tips for building confidence on camera. If that was your promise, if that was your crazy enough to stay promise, that was the takeaway in question 1, this is where you're going to start including that. So I have 3 content anchors here, but really it can be as many anchors as you want, right? In this doc, we just tweak it. I like 3 because it's not too many, it's not too few, but it depends on your video. If you're doing 10 tips, you tweak this to 10, right? You just add anchors, right? So anchor number 1, anchor 2, anchor 3. In each anchor, no matter how many you're doing, in each one, you want to have a big, bold point where you're making a polarizing statement about this thing that you're about to teach. You want to share support and background on the point, and then reiterate why it matters to your audience. You do this every single time for each point that you are making. And again, I'm going to do an example of this. And then lastly, the call to action again. So this is the script. I hope this helps kind of clarify a little bit where we're going with this. And I think what's going to help the most is to do an example. So this past week in the Video Marketing Hangout group, my free Facebook group, I'm streaming to a couple of places, but I asked this question in the Facebook group, and the majority of people said that they would be interested in seeing a script written from the perspective of a life coach. So I am going to write a script from the perspective of a life coach and just show you guys really how easy this will be. And I just want to say too, I did not write anything. I literally wanted to do this in front of you. I don't want you to think that I prepped all this stuff before. Nothing is prepped. The only thing that was prepped was the answers to these 3 questions, because I didn't want to sit here in front of you guys and just have no idea what the topic was going to be, right? That's kind of awkward. So that is the only thing I prepped. Okay, so again, before you ever start writing, we're answering these 3 questions. So question number 1, what is the through line or takeaway? And again, this is the perspective of a life coach. So in this video, we are talking about 3 misconceptions about goal setting in 2024. And specifically, those 3 are time, hours spent on personal development, that should say books, or resources spent on personal development, and energy. You can see how fast I did this. Resources spent on personal development. Okay, and then energy. Okay, makes sense so far? This is just the 3 things. So what I did not do was say, we're going to fix all of your problems in one video, or we are going to teach you all about goal setting. No, we're just talking about 3 specific misconceptions that this person is seeing with their clients, right? Or this could be the number 1 problem with goal setting. It could have been the top 10 best goals that I've seen with my life coaching clients, right? The point is there's a tangible goal and a really clear sense of what people are accomplishing and what people are going to learn by the end of the video, right? 1 sentence. If this is taking you a long, long time, something's going wrong. If this is a paragraph. Okay, where is the evidence? Client examples and techniques. So this person's going to give examples of clients and strategy. And then the call to action. This person has a goal of booking 15-minute calls, specifically these 15-minute goal setting calls, right? Okay, we're going to start scripting right now. So the first thing is the hook, right? So the hook is the first thing people hear. It's the first 2 minutes of the video where you're painting a picture of what's going on. It's got to be enticing and juicy and really get people excited. So we're talking about the 3 misconceptions about goal setting in 2024. So maybe we start out with something like 2024 or every new year, goal setting gets a bad rap because people pick audacious and outrageous goals that they never, ever accomplish. Like losing 100 pounds or reading 10 books a month or committing to running 10 miles a week. I don't know. Or insert any other big, awesome goal here. Okay, so here's what I've done so far. I have made a statement, a bold statement, where I'm saying every single year, goal setting gets a bad rap because people pick these crazy goals and they never accomplish them, right? So that's a polarizing statement. Like there's some people who are like, oh no, I love setting big goals. I think it's awesome, even if I fall short. I'm like, no, it's terrible. It's BS. Stop setting these huge goals that you never accomplish. And then I start to put myself in the shoes of my audience, where I'm saying, for example, there's this goal, or this goal, or this thing, or maybe this thing, right? Or perhaps this thing, right? And then I can say, if this is you, give me a thumbs up in the comments and stick around, because we are talking all about some of the biggest problems related to goal setting in 2024. All this info is coming from working with X many life coaching clients over the last X years. And I'm giving y'all the juicy details. Okay, so now I'm establishing even a little more credibility. Like, where is this all coming from? I'm saying, okay, give me a thumbs up. Here's what we're about to, giving them a little taste of what we're about to talk about. And then here's where this information's coming from. All these people that I've worked with and that have told me the same thing over and over and over again, right? Okay, and you guys can follow the same framework. Polarizing statement, a couple of real life examples, right? A little bit of detail on what's to come, and then a little credibility, right? This is like literally when you have a framework like this, and this is not the only way to write hooks. This is one hook example, right? This is one hook example. And I see someone, if we have no client experience with our field as of yet, that's fine. Build credibility in some other way. This could instead of I've worked with X many life coaching clients, I know this because I have been goal setting for the last X many years and have gotten this result. So there has to be some place that this is coming from. If you're just making this stuff up, that's a problem. Yeah, like if it's not clients, like where is this coming from? Okay, good question. All right, the crazy not to stay promise. So this is sharing exactly what they're going to learn if they stick around. So we've alluded to goal setting and that there's a lot of BS out there, but now we want to say specifically what we're talking about. So specifically, we're talking about 3 misconceptions about goal setting in 2024. We answered that in this first question. So literally, you're just going to paste 3 misconceptions about goal setting in 2024, right? After this, we're going to have the authority builder. This is where, again, we're that 1 to 2 lines of the I help me statement. So I'll say I'm Alex, a life coach who for the last 10 years has helped X clients to hit their goals without wasting time, money, or energy. Time, money, or energy. You could add one more sentence if you want, but literally it could be as simple as this. Okay, remember that we're trying to get people booked in for this 15-minute goal setting call. So the call to action is that 15-minute call. And so how we can say this is, by the way, I've got X many spots this month open on my calendar for a 15-minute goal setting call. A little context. This is a free call where I'll help you insert results, where I'll help you to figure out what's keeping you stuck and start charting your path forward with your goals. And then you're like, I'll share more at the end. But if you want details, you could, at this point, be really clear. Where do you want people to go? I could say comment, hashtag goal call, or I could just be like, go to the link in my bio and book the call, or go to the link in the video. Just be clear about where you want people to go. Okay, good so far. Let me know if we have any questions. But look at this. We've literally, in like, it hasn't even been 10 minutes. Like, we've gotten through half the script already. Okay, next up is the engaging question. This is where we are, again, ask people to comment hashtag live or hashtag replay. And again, we want a really simple question. So we could ask a question as simple as, have you set goals for 2024 yet? This could be yes or no, literally just yes or no. Or it could be, which category your goals fall under. And it could be health, wealth, or relationships. Generally, most goals fall under these. So ask people just to comment that one word or, a different adjective. Okay, cool. Moving on. So now we've got this whole intro that is done. And here's now where we want to deliver on the content. This is where the anchors come in, right? So we said that 3 misconceptions about goal setting in 2024. So we said time, resources spent, and energy. Okay, so anchor number 1, we want to have the big bold point. So this is where we're going to focus on the time piece. It only takes, let's say, 30 minutes a day to see amazing, consistent progress if you're working smart. Okay, here's where we have like the social proof. Here's where we start to like bring more things in. So this is where this person would give an example of her client who wants to write a book and has been pushing it off for 8 years, right? Client, they want to write a book, 8 years. And what changed was we introduced the Pomodoro technique. If you guys don't know what it is, I actually love the Pomodoro technique. It's basically where you pick a short task and time yourself, and your brain works with whatever time you've got. So if you give yourself an hour, you take an hour. If you give yourself 30 minutes, it takes 30 minutes. So this person was saying, I gave this client 30 minutes a day time to use the Pomodoro technique, and they were able to bust out this book, right? And then reiterating why this matters to your audience. I think this should be pretty obvious, but again, just reiterate, like, you don't have to spend 10 hours a day burning yourself out, right? It doesn't have to be a lot of time. So we're debunking that myth, right? And I hope what you guys notice, I'm not writing these long sentences. I'm just bulleting some of the main points as well. That's also where we cut down on time. Like, I don't love long paragraphs and sentences. It's really hard to read and get through when you're live or when you're shooting. And it just makes it difficult. So bullet. Okay. Point number 2 is about resources spent. So I think really the point that I was trying to make was reading reading or watching endless motivational books or videos will not get you closer to your goal, right? And then here, we're going to share a story about a client who wanted to hit the gym 5 times a week and get stronger, and instead was spending all time, like, literally just consuming content. So this is where we can talk strategy, where maybe this life coach has a 80-20 rule, where 80% of your time is action taking, 20% is learning. And maybe this is where they talk about the learning trap that people fall into, and they feel so good consuming all this information and they do nothing with it, right? So again, reiterate why this matters to your audience. Don't fall into this trap and take action. Okay. Last point. What was our last point? Energy. Big, bold points here. So maybe the big point is you're going to feel exhausted if you pick a goal that is not aligned with your values, right? Or lifestyle. So maybe this is where you have a personal example. You shared some client examples. Maybe here you could share a personal example of how you really wanted to, I'm just thinking, you really wanted to, I don't know, run a marathon, right? You really wanted to run a marathon and you just picked all of these things leading up to the marathon that were just exhausting for you. Like the process of training for the marathon maybe was exhausting for you, and you hadn't been a runner at all before, and you picked this huge goal. And it actually ended up being a better idea just to start with a 10K. So it was still really challenging for you, but it wasn't overwhelming you to the point where like your lifestyle had to completely change in a negative way, right? And so reiterate why this matters to your audience, right? You got to pick appropriate goals that stick. Okay. And that is it. So guys, this video it's not even been 30 minutes yet. And I think it's been maybe 10, 12 minutes that we've been going through this. Let me know in the comments right now. Is this helpful for you to see this process being written out? I hope it is, because we just went through and did all this really fast, right? And the last piece of this is just that call to action. So again, talking about that 15-minute goal setting call again. And if you want, go in a little bit more detail. So this is where you can share a little bit of where like what past calls have looked like. You can share a bit about why you've chosen to do these, like how long this is going to be open for, things like that. And yeah, that's basically what this looks like. So I see a lot of people saying super helpful. Yes, really helpful. I'm so glad to hear this. I did, before we sign off, because I have a client call, I literally, like I said, picked this time because I was like, I have a client call. I want to show that you guys that like, even when you're busy and you've got a full schedule, you can bust out these scripts and you can make this stuff work for you. So if this was helpful for you, if this is just great to just have this perspective, most of my students who are just killing it are the ones who are using this script and are getting their scripts reviewed every single week by me. And if you didn't know, I legit do a script review every single week, either on Zoom or live or both in my Video Skills Lab, which is $9 a month. So if you want me to personally review your scripts, by the way, I give away all my scripts and trainings in the Video Skills Lab as well for how to do this stuff. Go to the link in this video because it has all the details on how to join for $9 a month, and you can get your scripts looked at by me. All right, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you have any questions, you can drop them below. But otherwise, comment #live if you joined live or #replay if you're watching the replay, and I'll see you soon.